So I have some money saved up, and I was thinking of establishing a new income stream by starting a small business here in the Philippines. And unfortunately, I've had some issues. Hi everyone, this is Jay, and I'm a newbie investor here in the Philippines. If you like this kind of topic, please like and subscribe. Let's get into it. So the first issue I have with starting this venture or this small business is there's actually a lot of red tape involved in starting your small business. This is very frustrating, especially if you just want to start small, like a really small business. Capitalization of less than 500,000. You just say want to start a small coffee shop, for example. You need to there's really a lot of red tape involved into starting your business and a lot of expenses involved there too. The second problem is taxes. Tax laws in the Philippines can be very burdensome, and most of the time you'll just be required to hire an accountant for it. So if your business is not necessarily big enough to cover such expenses, it's just another hit for you. And don't forget, BIR will require you to close your account if ever you close your business. And you'll be hit with penalties after penalties if you ever miss that. So that's something that actually happened to me. And it's very frustrating. You already lost money on your business and you forgot to declare closure. I mean, when you're losing money on a business, you're already on a stressful situation, which sometimes you just want to just close shop and forget about it, right? Because you already lost money. And it's actually very common to just forget declaring closure on your BIR, which I feel like is a trap. I mean, in one hand, yeah, you need to declare you're closed, otherwise they won't know, right? But on the other hand, it's just another red tape that you'll have to tackle. Plus, all the fines feels like it's a trap. You lost money already and they want you to pay up more money for not making money. Seriously. Another pitfall is limited access to capital. I mean, if you're on retail or if your small business needs moving capitalization, and you somehow run out of funds for your business, it is very, very hard to get a loan for your business. Most of the time, people I know just end up using their credit card or securing a personal loan, which is not very ideal. But I mean, it is what it is, and this is the landscape of businesses here in the Philippines, especially if you're small. So this one's a bummer. Pro-employee labor laws and mandatory benefits. A lot of people, when they hire, especially for menial work, don't necessarily know that you're required to give mandatory benefits to these employees. I mean, yes, it's a given, but if your business is small and you're just hiring out labor once in a while, or it's just small labor, you don't necessarily think that, oh, I have to get SSS and pag-ibig benefits for these people. I mean, you're just trying to ramp up your business and you didn't necessarily know that you have to cover for these expenses. So when you hire someone, you got to factor in their mandatory benefits as well. Don't forget to make sure you put up a contract. You write the contract of when their start date is, what their benefits are, and you're probably going to have to factor in minimum wages as well. So because of those labor laws, I think it's very hard for people to just start small, because there are a lot of businesses that you'd want to just start small on. And hiring someone can usually be cheap in practice, but can be very expensive as well. Take note that you need to protect yourself. Even if you want to just move fast, hire someone, be it informal hiring, make sure that you have a contract, because labor laws in the Philippines are very pro employees. They most of the time they can just probably extort money out of you. They just can, especially if you don't have a contract. They can just go to the Department of Labor office and claim that they've been with you for 10 years and say that you never paid them SSS, or claim other benefits from you, and it's practically extortion. Even when you've given them so many out of pocket benefits that are just not written in contract. So kindness does not necessarily attract more kindness here. Protect yourself, get a contract, give them benefits as it's mandatory, but factor all those things in, because you can't just start a small business without all these red tapes here in the Philippines. So overall, here in the Philippines, the small business landscape is very, very hard to manage. Most of the time, you'll just be buying yourself a job. So if you already have a job that's enabling you to save up for money, you might be better off just investing that somewhere else. I mean, it's sad to say, but if you invest that money on stocks or REITs or other investment opportunities, those things don't necessarily create jobs for the local economy. So it's just less job for the Filipino people. But at the same time, it's just less business opportunities for everyone, which just makes social income mobility harder for every one of us. I think the government needs to do a better job with balancing the protection for our employees and also giving opportunities for our small businesses. But right now, if you don't necessarily have a couple million pesos to spend on your business and you want to do it the right way, it's just not worth it. Gone are the days where you just start small and you just start a shop and expect it to grow over the years. But overall, I mean, everyone is frustrated. I'm frustrated as a failed business owner. I know people that are frustrated as well, and I want to start a new business, but this frustration just keeps on piling up. At the end of the day, it's just going to be less jobs for everyone. So I hope our government does a better job at this. And I'm just hoping that they come up with protection for both the employees and the employers. Because right now, I mean, a lot of employees just flat out extort their ex-employers. Well, that's it for me for today, guys. If you have any comments or bad experiences with starting a small business here in the Philippines, comment down below and we'll talk about it next time. Thanks.